play.
Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Talking Tennis. Today I am Jack Edward, by the way, going to take you through the Elina, Svitolina and Aryna Sabalenka match, or at least the second and potentially third sets of that match, as it has already started. Been a great French Open so far for both players. I'll try and give you a little bit of background on their journeys here and the context behind this match itself. Of course, Sabalenka already up 6-4 in the first set. She's down love 1 on serve in the second set. As a double fault appears, we are now 30-40, so things are heating up a bit. Does Svitolina have a chance? It's a pretty interesting match because Sabalenka, by all accounts, probably the biggest hitter in the draw in a way, maybe even bigger than Iga in a way. And Svitolina, probably the grindiest, pushiest player, whatever you want to say, left in the draw. So it's a very interesting matchup. Already, Svitolina drawing an unforced error, in fact, to go up 2-0. So she is up a break in the second set. It's a very interesting dynamic, of course, in terms of both players probably being the best at their respective styles of play. Sabalenka, in particular, though, I would say Sabalenka should be the favourite going into the match. Obviously, the first set's been and gone, and it's easy to say that. But that's what I was saying beforehand. Sabalenka, just the amount of power, the amount of confidence she's sitting with. Of course, we saw a double fault there, and that's maybe one thing to look out for. But I figured from her previous matches that wasn't going to be much of an issue in terms of confidence, in terms of can she keep the serve from sort of breaking down. It's not really been an issue, even since the Australian Open. There's not been many instances of it creeping back up. There was one match against Rybakina, I remember, at Indian Wales in the semi-final or the final even, where the serve did kind of go walkabouts a little bit. But other than that, it's been pretty solid. So it's not becoming much of an issue for her when she does feel a little less confident. And it's part of the reason, really, that I feel so confident backing her at the start of every match. It's a pretty reliable weapon. Obviously, you can go check out the episode of On the Line that I did on the podcast, if you like, where I talked to Sabalenka's biomechanics trainer. He was just talking about all the changes he's made with her, how reliable a serve it is now. In general, even if this match does go the distance, I think Sabalenka is a safe enough bet for me to pick her as the overall winner, for sure. 30-love at the moment. Svitolina just going ahead enough to feel a little bit more confident. Drop shot there, though, a little bit of feel from Sabalenka to go 30-15 with a little bit of a fight back. Svitolina, what a journey, honestly. What a journey. I'm immensely proud of her. She must be a fan favourite for a lot of people. Obviously, we've got grindiest, pushiest player left in the draw on the bottom of the screen there. But by no means is that a slight. She is a fantastic player. She is, an absolute inspiration to come back from pregnancy and, bounce back in the way she has. There was just no signs of her at all. Coming into the tournament, that would have said, or coming into Strasbourg, I would have said the tournament before, that would have said she could have bounced back this quickly. And she's on a, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9 match win streak, I think. At the moment, it's absolutely superb. I don't think anybody could have called it, bar Monfils maybe, who might have known what was happening behind the woodwork. It's fantastic. And for her to use this style of play as well, I think it's easier maybe for a power player to come back from something like that. Obviously, I'm not saying by any means Serena Williams' comeback was easy, but at the same time, it might be easier for a style like that to come back because it's not as fitness-centric. You need to be at the very, very top of your game athletically to make sure you can bounce back from something like that. So it's just insane for Svitolina to do this. By the way, it is a 30-40 in the blink of an eye. It was 30-love. Sabalenka pulled off a couple of great shots. It is now a break point back. So we'll focus back on the points for a second, back in the match. I'll just talk us through this break point. Svitolina with a first serve to the body. Sabalenka with a great backhand return already on the front foot. Sets up a forehand cross court. Nets it. Should have made that one. Unlucky. So back to Jess. She'll be absolutely livid with that one. That's maybe where I would expect to see a bit more of Sabalenka's underconfidence if it does show up. So rather than it being the serve nowadays, maybe just the odd sitter on the forehand, on the backhand, feeling like she's got to put a little bit more on those shots on these courts compared to, say, Australia. where if you gave Sabalenka time with the ball in Australia, the point was over, essentially, in all 7 of her matches. It's a little different here. So Svitolina is, she'll definitely give her trouble. I think on my predictions I was saying Sabalenka in 3. I did expect Svitolina to take a set. But I do expect her. I think she's just too reliable a bit overall to go against. A big serve, by the way, from Svitolina down the tee. Immediately gets the return error. So she has an advantage up here. I missed that picture there. Sorry, what was the picture that just popped up there? Happy to talk about it briefly. Svitolina's return to major play at Roland Garros is one for the tennis history books, win or lose today. Absolutely, of course. And yes, she's, she was always guaranteed with the tennis that she's playing to make Sabalenka sweat in these conditions. Sabalenka would have to play 3-4 amazing forehands in a row to win every single point. Double fault from Svitolina there, though, unfortunately, puts her back to deuce in this game. One thing Sabalenka's got going for her that she took out of last season. This is interesting. There's me, by the way, talking to Gavin McMillan, the biomechanics trainer of Sabalenka. Interesting interview, and I don't say that because I was in it. I think I must have said like 3 different things. Now, I was more than happy to sit back and listen to Gavin talking for the whole interview. It was absolutely fascinating, definitely worth checking out. But yeah, one thing that Sabalenka could take from last season. So obviously Sabalenka's season last year, she ends number 5 in the world. She massive forehand winner. I think I'll talk about this at the change of ends because this is quite a crucial point in the match, actually. Let's go back to the tennis just for a second. Break point Sabalenka, great forehand there. Couple of great shots in a row, actually. Big backhand down the line, then a big forehand down the line. Yeah, lovely execution there. And great fire, I love it. She's pumped up now. Break point number 2 in this game. Serve to the body, not going to do the job. They're in backhands cross. Sabalenka goes line immediately. Ooh, tries to sort of slap a forehand winner there. It was a little bit flat. That's an interesting point to talk about. So Gavin talked about not only the serve changes that he'd made with Sabalenka, but the forehand changes and how much more spinny he'd made Sabalenka's forehand. It used to be pretty flat, used to fly through the court. Nowadays, same sort of pace of shot, but much safer. So that was a forehand of old there for Sabalenka. That one that just drifts long. It should be hit with a lot more margin for error. We've just got a coffee machine, by the way. Cannot stop drinking coffee now. It's amazing. If you don't have one, go get one. If you're a coffee connoisseur, which I'm not. I'm not fancy enough to be a coffee connoisseur. Break point to Sabalenka. After a double fault for Svitolina there. Just clips the net and then drifted long. Break point number 3. Sabalenka should be given the chance to attack on most serves. Svitolina's serve a little lacking. Opts to slice with her forehand there, though. Something funny must have happened on the bounce. Trading neutral at the moment, though. Svitolina getting a bit of depth. Sabalenka with a chance to step in on one. Enough to force the error immediately. Game, Sabalenka. Well played. Because I don't think I've ever seen Sabalenka slice a return in my life, especially off the forehand. So that was interesting. However, 2-1 up. 1-2, I should say. So going with serve. Sabalenka gets the break back. She must have a chance in pretty much every single return game she's playing, I would imagine. Let's just check out the break point. Won and lost. That was only the second break of the match. I stand corrected. So that's very interesting that there's been as few breaks as that for Sabalenka. So it must be a pretty scrappy match by all accounts. Remind myself what I was talking about. Where was my tangent going? Last year, that was it. So last Sabalenka's season last year, right? So in 2022, she has those double fault problems. Pretty much every game she plays, she cannot rely on her serve. She's still playing insane forehands, insane backhands, still acing opponents all the time. So she has these matches where it becomes very, very close, but she immediately sacrifices the lead because of the double faults. But she has wins amidst those matches. So she has some of the ugliest, grindiest match wins she's ever sort of pulled off in her life. And as a result of that, if this does go the distance, I would honestly fancy her to take it as a result of having been through all these crazy matches last year. It's basically primed her to dig in, to dig deep, to pull off these incredible wins. but she's also got the new arsenal, basically the reinforced arsenal of 2023. So she's turned into this really resilient kind of warrior player who's also got all these incredible shots. So saying that, well, we can get onto that depending on how the match goes. But I can give you a little bit of a preview on why I think a Sabalenka Swiatek final is a done deal if it does happen. What's this? Jamie is off to Surbiton, of course. Jamie, we've had on the channel before, including Liam Brody versus Gabriel Diallo and Dan Evans versus James McCabe. I've never heard of James McCabe before. That must be a wild card or something there. If the two British players win, they will meet each other in the next round. That's great. Liam Brody, Dan Evans, second round of a challenger. Couldn't ask for more than that, really. That's fantastic. Fingers crossed Jamie gets that then. That would be great. And Dave Samuel at the bottom there. So Dave Samuel coming on the channels here in Surbiton, maybe. That's it's not quite that. That's a little bit what's the word? Punk. Can't remember the word now. It'll come up maybe. It's not quite as fancy as that. Not as hipster as that. Just a good old fashioned coffee machine. Well played from Sabalenka there. No way. 15,000 quid. Jesus Christ. Ours was 300. It's quite good for a coffee machine, I think. I don't know. Just I think we got it second hand, to be fair. 30-15 for Sabalenka. Fantastic forehand there. Not quite a pressure moment in the match, but if she does lose this point, it gets a little bit squeakier. Second serve now. Does it hold up? Here we go. Second serve. Surely no double fault. Come on, Sabs. It's a double fault. 30-all. 30-all. Jinx that. This is what happens. You start watching the match and all these things you start saying about player shots. They all just come undone. They like to prove you wrong. 30-all. Now it's a pressure moment in the match. Can Sabs hold her own? Looking for a big first serve. Still effective on this surface, but she obviously feels like she's got to go for a little more as she pushes that first serve long. So it's the second serve now. Don't double fault again. She didn't. Big second serve out wide. Backhand down the line. Doesn't put her in offense. That's a fantastic shot there. And another, the backhand's doing a lot of damage. That was a great point from Sabalenka. I think she played 4 backhands in a row, and all of them nice and offensive, never giving Svitolina a look in. That sort of point might go underrated, as you know, the kind of points Sabalenka can pull off nowadays. It's that kind of rally tolerance you need if you're going to play somebody like Swiatek and potentially come out on top. I'll give you all the deets in that at the next change of end. I think we'll look at a little matchup for those two as and when the change of ends happens. 40-30 for Sabalenka at the moment. Another game point. Can't buy a first serve, as Kyrgios would put it. Second serve here. Here we go. No double faults. It's a double fault. Jace. It's the first time in the tournament I've seen the serve go walkabouts, I'll be honest, but you know, there's a time and a place for everything. How many double faults is that? Is that the third double fault of the match? So we've seen all 3 since I joined this stream, of course. Here we go. First serve. Misses that one as well. The thing is, again, sort of going back to what I was saying about Sabalenka being a grinder, being able to survive all these big moments from last year. If she does come through this game, she's in a pretty good position to then play with sort of reckless abandon almost. Makes the second serve deep. Same with the backhand, and it's enough to just force the error from Svitolina, who, by the way, looks like she's playing a little more aggressively than usual. She probably does feel like she probably respects the Sabalenka game. You know, there's not unforced errors flying off the racket like there has been in previous Roland Garros appearances. Of course, having previously only made as far as the 3rd round, I believe. Sabalenka's French Open record previous to this year wasn't great. And of course, she's won 4 matches without dropping a set this year. So couldn't be much better. Advantage Sabalenka, here we go. Big first serve. Out, even. Second serve. That is now like 5 or 6 first serves missed in a row. And again, big second serve. Out wide. Svitolina getting it back into play. Amazing forehand from Svitolina. From Sabalenka, doesn't quite win her the point, but easy put away at the end there. Great match, great game to come through. Just as I was saying, the more of these games she survives, the more I fancy her chances. Fantastic stuff. Elina Svitolina out in Shattery for clash with Sabalenka. Lots of Ukrainian flags on show in the stadium, even one which was cut in half by security because it was over the 1 metre maximum length. Really? Did they get the tape measure out? Christ's sake. It's not a great look, I've got to say, Maresmo, but it's what it is, I guess. I think Svitolina's way of handling it was quite good, actually. She had that match against, I've forgotten, apologies, but a Russian, was it Blinkova? I think it was Blinkova. And just the thumbs up at the end rather than the handshake. The lack of a handshake makes sense. She said she's following the kind of footsteps of, sort of governmental figures. They don't handshake, but there's still respect between the two of them. And it's the same with the players. Thumbs up afterwards. I think that's the best way to do it. The kind of Kostyuk death stare almost isn't. I don't think it's as good a way to handle things. Definitely, because at the end of the day, it's not the players that deserve it. Just an acknowledgement that it was Kasatkina. Sorry, so it was. Okay, 15-all for Svitolina. Teetering here. A break might spell defeat. Good first serve. Playing down the middle, no angles for Sabs. Really is just playing down the middle apart from the backhand. And again. Oh, great from Sabalenka there. Cannot argue with that. That's the forehand I was talking about. So much rotation on it. Able to get it into the corners. Yeah, that's a fantastic forehand. One of those ones where she just brushes up the side. Very difficult to control as well as that. Yeah, no ghosty. It's a first for my streams, I think, John. Forehand winners, 12-0 for Sabalenka. That gives you an idea. Is that a clean winner? Was it? It was. Oh my goodness. Okay, Sabalenka, statement of intent. She wants to get through this match as soon as she can. 15-40. Potentially the shot of the match there. Just saying to Svitolina, you can't keep rolling in the first serve without a few of these balls going flying past you. Same thing happened there. Backhand inside out. Sabalenka's got Svitolina on the forehand. You do not fancy Svitolina's chances, but she's pushed that long, Sabalenka. No way. Yeah, she'll be raging at that one. Anything in the court there, and she was up in the point. 30-40, still a break point to work with. You do sometimes see Sabalenka's temperament rise and fall even when she's still up in the games, right? So if she does sort of spray one here, you would maybe call that a lack of focus. Just doesn't quite time that one either. Svitolina with a fist bump to Gael. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Sabalenka handles herself here. Because sometimes getting into these situations in the past, she can get a little bit wordy with herself. The serve can start to spray a little bit. She's still in a good position here. Juice. Gets a backhand. Totally mistimes that one as well. I think she is a little bit miffed at the fact that they're hitting lines. Yeah, Svitolina's hit lines on both serves. So you get a little bit of a funkier bounce on both of them, and it was much, much harder for her to time them. Don't mind me, by the way. I'm just cutting my tape for my potential tennis elbow. Hopefully not. Advantage Svitolina. Second serve to work with. This is the one that Sabalenka's got to make some sort of statement of intent on. Just to say, you can't keep rolling in second serve. You've got to make your first serve. So does she go big? She does down the line with the backhand, but it's not enough to put her on the front foot. She has time in this forehand. I think Svitolina's just pushed that long though. You can tell that Svitolina's pushing powers are much, much, much heavier, reduced than usual. The fact that she's just like, she's losing the point within 3 or 4 shots, that isn't Svitolina at all, which is what I was saying before the match. Sabalenka's power, any pusher, generally, even Svitolina, the highest of highest pushers, the greatest of pushers, second best. Here we go, juice again. Sabalenka still hanging in here despite the fact she's miscued 3 returns on the bounce before that point. Second serve here. Double fault. Oh, no, sorry, it's a let. It was a let. So second serve here from Svitolina. Sabalenka, again, statement of intent. Can she go huge in the return? She goes straight down the middle. Just mistimes it, though. These are the kind of moments. It's not looking great because Svitolina, you give her, and then she does tend to take a mile. She'll just keep going and going. Her level will drop. Sabalenka has to stay in this game here. Well, she doesn't have to, but advantage Svitolina. I like Svitolina's playing down the middle, honestly. I think the more angle you give Sabalenka, the harder she's going to hit it past you, the more she uses the space. It is the pushiest of pushy tactics, but generally, if you're going to push against Sabalenka, that's what you've got to do. You can't give Sabalenka angles. So I'm liking that play. Second serve for Svitolina, gets hammered down the line from Sabalenka, forces the error immediately. I love that backhand down the line from Sabalenka. It's so safe, it's so repeatable, it's so good. It was a shot that made the difference against Swiatek in Madrid. I'll talk about that in a second. Juice. I didn't see that result, actually. Let's also talk about that, the change of ends, in a second. I take it from the message maybe that Mukova retired. No, not quite. Find out in a second. Sabalenka breakpoint. Here we go. Big moment in the match. Double fault from Svitolina. Feeling the pressure in the second serve. That's what Sabalenka's got to do, because Svitolina's second serve is not the greatest. It's not heavy enough that Sabalenka can't step in and crunch it. So first serve, got to make it. She does. Out wide, Sabalenka with some great defense. Fantastic defense. Backhand's cross. Sabalenka in the ascendancy, but puts the backhand down the line into the net. Svitolina sensing that moment there. Sabalenka scratching the head. Backhand on forced errors. 10-1. Love that, Svitolina. Back to juice. Pivotal moment here. The longer this game goes on, the more the importance of it grows. Second serve here. Again, Sabalenka will be looking to attack from the front foot. It just puts a seed of doubt into the second serve every time. However, she's pushed it long again. So that's now advantage Svitolina. There we go, there's the result. 7-5, 6-2 for Mukova. Bunch of exchanges of serves in the first set, including when the Czech was serving for the first set, the decisive break at the end of the set, and quickly 2-love in a second. Sounds like one of those ones where Mukova thoroughly deserved it, actually. I did expect Pavlyuchenko to win that, honestly. I thought the power difference might make all the difference. Is that a backhand in? Yeah, it is. It's one of those ones, Sabalenka. We see that quite a lot from her. She crunched a backhand cross-court winner and then shakes her head afterwards. And I like, why couldn't I have done that earlier? Sorry, she does that quite a lot. Great shot. Juice again. Funny bounce, but she copes with it well. Forehand cross, draws Svitolina so far off the court. Plenty of space to work with down the line. Man again though. Back to neutral. She's got to get this one. Yeah, good enough. Takes time away from the Ukrainian, and it is now advantage Sabalenka. Yeah, love that from Mukova. Love to see Mukova in a semi-final. I think she's one of the few players. Nobody's going to outpower Sabalenka, right? So she's one of the few players that has a chance against Sabalenka. Again, though, I still think the power difference is too much. Sabalenka's just playing incredibly well at the moment. Incredibly well. As she crunches a backhand cross-court, forehand back inside out, Svitolina on the back foot, another forehand to work with, Svitolina fighting for her life, Another forehand down the line. There's no way. Yeah, there's no way. Well played. That was the game. Come back to that. That's the moment of the match. Sabalenka dug in. I was talking about it earlier. Her digging ability. Every single point there on Sabalenka's strings rather than Svitolina's. Fantastic stuff. 3-2 with the break. In the second set, Sabalenka looks like she's going to be making a third Grand Slam semi-final. Yeah, let's talk about this Sabalenka matchup. As Sabalenka draws closer to the finish line here, I'm sure I'll jinx it a little bit by talking about it. But we saw it in Madrid. This was my takeaway basically from the Madrid match, right? So Madrid was not as fast as it usually is. The serve wasn't winning Sabalenka as many 3 points as a lot of pundits expected it to win her. So she had to rely on how to winning long rallies, which is not what you want to do against Swiatek. The longer the rally goes on, generally on clay, the more chance the Pole's got of winning the point. But Sabalenka was winning the longer rallies. She won most of them. And it was because of her backhand. Or it was because of both wings, but particularly the sort of ad court dynamic. So Sabalenka backhand held up amazingly well compared to Swiatek's backhand. And her forehand inside out was just money in that match. I don't think I've seen anybody attack or rush Swiatek's backhand as well as Sabalenka did. And anything remotely short, and I'm not even talking before the service line, I'm talking a foot inside the baseline, and Sabalenka was crushing it. The level in that match was superb. Absolutely phenomenal. And I honestly think she can repeat those heroics in Roland Garros. Genuinely. The problem is the serve might just become a little bit less of a factor. But I'm just saying that, that if that's a sort of showcase of what Sabalenka can do, there's no reason she can't do the same thing in France. Genuinely. So, obviously, I'm backing Swiatek. But there is a chance Sabalenka could make that a very, very, very close match. Swiatek's closest match at the French Open since she lost to Sakari 2 years ago. That would be fantastic. 3-2 for Sabalenka, by the way. 15-love. She'll get a little bit of confidence now as she drop shots Svitolina out of nowhere. Good change up. Well played. I remember that's what commentators last year, this is an interesting kind of anecdote. Last year, Sabalenka's game was just in shambles, right? And commentators were kind of like, "Oh, she has improved stuff in her game. She has these volleys, she has these drop shots that she would literally play once in a blue moon." And I literally mean 1 or 2 points a match. And they were kind of failing to address the elephant in the room, the fact that her serve was just god awful. I mean, that should have just been the talk from the start to the end of the match. But they were trying to draw silver linings, and really. Yes, her net play's gotten a little better, but it's inconsequential to any of her results, basically. Can Jabeur do anything against Iga? She's one of the few players that can give her a different look, but there's not really any chance of her winning. I think at the French Open, you have to be able to play a power game against Swiatek. Give Swiatek time on the ball, and I'm afraid it's one-way traffic. She maybe... if she kind of starts playing the drop shot with a lot more frequency, there's maybe a chance that she could take a set. That's actually, I'm going to retract that statement. I don't even think she'll take a set. Unless Swiatek's feeling very nervy, which she has no reason to be feeling nervy every single time she's played a match at Roland Garros for the last couple of years. She's come out firing. I don't think Jabeur's got the power to do it, I'm afraid. I think you've got to be a power player like Sabalenka to trouble Swiatek, and even then, Iga's the favourite pretty much in every match she plays. And saying that against Gauff as well, I mean, obviously this won't be surprising to those that know the head-to-head between Swiatek and Gauff, but I really don't see any chance of Gauff even bothering Swiatek in that matchup. I'm sorry, on clay. She just doesn't have the offensive weaponry at this stage of her career. The forehand being a weakness is just way too much against Iga. It's a pretty repeatable, reliable, easy strategy for Swiatek to carry out against Gauff. Plan A should work every time, basically. So sorry, Gauff fans, but I really don't fancy our chances there. And Jabeur has more of a chance, as I say, with a little more variety, able to kind of use the forecourt with her drop shots and stuff more so than Goff, but I don't give her much of a chance, I'm afraid. Which will be no surprise to most of us, I'm sure. Sabalenka did consolidate the break, by the way, so it is 4-2. She's still sulking and generally unhappy with a lot of her shots, but she is in the lead. 65 points to 56 there, coming up in the stats. 15 love down in this game, but taking hold of this rally as it extends. Again, she's the favourite for most extended rallies nowadays. Her rally temperament has got a lot better. Svitolina trying to go big on her first forehand, I guess, for a while, and not quite making it 15-all. Yeah, there's the Goff Świątek head-to-head. 6 love in the first one thing. I didn't realise that. I thought it was 4 love. 12 sets won. 73 games to 29. Oh my goodness. That gives you an idea. And 21 aces to 4 there for Goff. There you go. There's a nice little silver lining. I don't know why they include that in the head-to-head, but there you go. 15-all. Sabalenka friendly to pull away. I don't think she's quite made that backhand down the line that she was falling off there. Would have been an absolute world if she did, but as the score changes to 30-15, no, she didn't quite make it. Any questions, obviously, regarding Sabalenka, regarding Świątek, etc., do feel free to type them in. I've got a fairly decent knowledge of the two players nowadays. Svitolina backhand down the line, misses, unfortunately, though, 30-all. This is the moment. If Sabalenka wins this point, I fancy our chances of pulling away. Here we go. Svitolina begging for the first serve here. Misses it, unfortunately. Second serve will 100% get attacked by Sabalenka. Here we go. Second serve. Huge. Oh, a little too huge. Sabalenka just spraying that forehand return long, so didn't quite make that there. The Sabalenka run to the French Open quarter-final, by the way. I'll go through that in a second. Let's see how this game ends first. Can talk about it at the change of ends. Game point for Svitolina. First serve. Makes it out wide. Sabalenka a great backhand return. Svitolina approaching. Backhand smash. Sabalenka can't control the backhand pass. Good move forward there. So game Svitolina, 4-3. Sabalenka still with the crucial break in the second set though. So yeah, the two players' routes to the quarterfinals. Sabalenka obviously not dropping a set. Arguably, I would say her first proper challenge was against Sloane Stephens in the 4th round. Kostyuk, maybe not the best matchup on clay, and given Kostyuk's history against top 10 players as well, I didn't really fancy her chances there. Stephens, just with a sort of red line that could threaten against any player. Sabalenka, though, the moment that really gave me a lot of confidence in her, ironically, I guess, was her being 5 love up, losing that lead, and then going on to still win the first set. I thought that, that had the wheels coming off written all over it. I figured that could have been a moment for Sabalenka to really lose her way, to really kind of fall off the bandwagon a little bit. Her serve maybe could have come to pieces, but she was fantastic. She was really good. She didn't, 2 double faults in that match. The serve was fine. From the back of the court, there were a few moments of doubt, but overall, she just held it together really, really professionally. I was very, very impressed with that. So it does say that she's willing to fight regardless of whatever position she is in her matches. And if there was a final with her and Iga, I would fancy her chances of at least giving it a proper go regardless of what happens. And then Svitolina, conversely, Trevisan in the first round, she outpushes anybody, Svitolina, I'm afraid. So Trevisan was never winning that match. Storm Sanders put up a good fight with her return, but that was a great win for Svitolina again. Blinkova, an amazing match. Svitolina did so well to dig in there. That was, I believe, her best match of the tournament. Kasatkina not quite showing the level that she showed in her other matches. I think that's just a result of feeling like you can't, just push Svitolina off the court. But again, an amazing win for Svitolina. But yeah, particularly that Blinkova win, that said to me Svitolina was well and truly here to party at the French Open. Definitely. 15 love, by the way, in this 4-3 game in the second set for Sabalenka. Didn't quite make that first serve, so she is looking for a second serve now. Can't see a wee back here for Svitolina either, as I kind of alluded to the number of, oh my god, okay, incredible backhand down the line from Sabalenka, just taking my breath a little bit there. The game plans of Svitolina are not particularly varied. Well, I don't know actually. I take that back. I think she should be playing down the middle of the court. Obviously, she's got a lot of feel in the ball. She's got a lot of variety. She can play with different heights, different spins. She's just got very good control of the ball in general. I would like to see her play down the middle a little more just to take some angles away from Sabalenka. But no, the power disparity just a little too much at the moment. Did I see Nick's power rankings for the women? No, I didn't. I would like to hear them. You can't have put Sabalenka above Iga. Well, we'll see. Big serve from Sabalenka. Gets one in the forecourt. Great backhand down the line with plenty of spin on it. 40-15. Pulling away now. This would be a 5th straight sets win in a row for Sabalenka at the French Open. And I don't think many fancied her chances of being unperturbed, I guess, before the final, if she was making it there. So this is a big deal, I would say. If she made this in straight sets, fantastic stuff. Fantastic achievement in general as well. French Open, probably the tournament in which she's the least comfortable, I would say, just given the fact the conditions are so slow. She has to make a few more of those shots. But nowadays, the shots are so reliable, it doesn't really matter. She's willing to play like 3 or 4 of those in a row. As she crunches her forehand down the line, 40-15 to game, and now 5-3. So really, I don't know. I don't know where she's probably still least comfortable at the French because again her serve is a little bit slowed down, but it's not much. You know, like the time she gets in her shots probably helps her because she's just got time to line up as heavy a shot as she can hit, and boom, basically. She wins the French calendar slam. Yeah, interesting point. Obviously, having won the Australian at the start of the year, hadn't even occurred to me. Svitolina clinging on here, 15 love. Gets a return error. Sabalenka still looking to dictate at each and every point. And again, another return error. Draws the sigh, draws the shrug of the shoulders from Sabalenka. Can Svitolina force Sabalenka just to have a little bit of doubt, looking to serve out the match? Still 30 love. Big down the tee. Sabalenka going backhands cross. I'd like to see the stats on when Sabalenka starts a backhand cross-court rally. How often does the rally finish with something beside a Sabalenka winner or a Sabalenka unforced error? Because I don't believe Svitolina's fought her way out of that dynamic once so far. 40 love. As Sabalenka crunches a backhand down the line into the net. Here we go, second serve for Svitolina. Sabalenka will look to crunch it. Doesn't make it though. So we are 5-4. Sabalenka serving for a place in the French Open semi-finals for the first time in her career. Like, let's see Nick's crazy power rankings. Or should I say, let's see. Obviously, Rybakina for a bit of bad luck. Jabeur at 4 is a good call from Nick, because I definitely would have had Jabeur lower, and that's turned out pretty good. You know, I always kind of forget to rate her on a natural surface. It's chalk and cheese, honestly. On a hard court, she tries to play like every top 100 player on the tour, and then on a clay court or a grass court, it's like there she's comfortable. She can play whatever she likes, plays these crazy slices, crazy spins. It's obviously way more fascinating to watch for me, I would say, than watching her on a hard court. And honestly, the US Open run was like, I mean, she was basically flirting with defeat every single set she played there. So she dug in. Fair play to her for winning or for getting to the final, obviously. But I don't see that happening ever again. It was insane. Just not fortune, but insane the way things played out for her to come through. Very, very impressive. But a semi-final run here, absolutely possible. Definitely. Let me just remind myself who Jabeur is against in a second as I commentate on this potentially final game of the match. However, Sabalenka has just pushed a backhand long, so we're love 15 at the start of the game. Big breath, Sabalenka. Get the first serve in. Yeah, Nick's calling Jabeur deserves a lot of praise there, because above Krejcikova, I'm sure John wasn't happy about that one. So very, very impressive. Big first serve for Sabalenka, does make it, sets up the forehand, misses by a country mile, love 30. Come on, Sabs. Dig in here. No, I'll go back to what I said very briefly. I don't think Coco will be a problem. It's a bad matchup, I'm afraid, in Ireland. It's not a issue of how well will Coco be playing. Unless Iga's nervous, there's not much reason for Iga not to just storm that one. Coco's still playing too defensively for Iga to get bothered on this court. I don't see her being an issue. Huge forehand there from Sabalenka, by the way, to go 15-30. Good combo there. Nice and reliable. That's what she'll be looking for. No cheap points. I think that's the problem in the first 2 points. She was trying to go too big too early. Needs to earn that space, earn that right to hit the winner. 15-30. We want 3 sets maybe, but I don't think it'll happen. Big first serve out wide. Sabalenka setting up with all the time in the world in the forehand. Huge space to hit into. Makes it 30-all. I love the confidence there, KC. Could happen for Sabs, but very unlikely. I mean, by the time the US Open comes around, all these players are knackered. They've been playing all season. And then you get somebody fairly unexpected, sometimes winning the tournament. Huge first serve there for Sabs. Goes wide from Svitolina. We are now at match point, 40-30. Well done. Good little, as I say, rally to dig in there. She was down in the game, but 2 huge forehands. Nice and safe, soar through. The last calendar slam, I believe, was Serena Williams, right? No. Did she even win a calendar slam? I'll come back to that in a second. The forehand there, clipping the net from Sabalenka, just goes wide. Graf. Yes, it was Steffi Graf. When she won the golden calendar slam, right? I'm pretty sure she won the Olympics the same year. No, I'm forgetting the Serena slam. It wasn't the calendar slam, which I believe was, I want to say, Wimbledon to French. Have I got that wrong? Producer, not sure. Might have been. Juice, first match point comes and goes. Big first serve out wide. Great return from Svitolina, though. Big backhand cross there from Sabalenka. We did say earlier that dynamic has not seen Svitolina come out victorious often. However, she's scrapping for her life here. Down the middle. Sabalenka taking control of the point with a great forehand cross. Great rally there. Might have been the longest of the match. Well played, Sabalenka. Just playing with great authority, great confidence in her own shots there. Yeah, as I say, Casey, the Serena slam isn't quite the same as the calendar slam because it wasn't within the space of a calendar year. Yeah, great defense from Svitolina. But not enough. As I say, Sabalenka's shot's so much more reliable, not drawing the error. Sabalenka takes a deep breath. Here we go. First serve. Doesn't want to miss it here. Huge first serve out wide. Svitolina, great backhand return. Sabalenka will be looking to take her time now. Slice from Svitolina. Not a good idea. Sabalenka with all the time in the world makes it back behind Svitolina. Sabalenka is the winner. Well played. Love it. Love it. I love that result. I am rooting for a Sabalenka Świątek final. I don't think we'll see a handshake here. She knows that. That's fair. Thumbs up, maybe? Don't know. Anyway, yeah, Sabalenka didn't know that. Was it the net a little bit? I don't know. Expectant, I guess. Big smile to the camp, though. Well played. yeah, get questions in. Keen to talk and answer as much as I can. Sabalenka blowing kisses to the crowd there. Great win for her. Great win. Honestly, as I say, want to see that Swiatek Sabalenka final that we're all dreaming of. I do think they're a cut above the rest of the field. Well, Rybakina obviously is keeping up, but having went out with what we believe was food poisoning, I think. I can't quite remember now. They're the best by far, I would say, in terms of power ranking. What's the path to victory for Kachanov versus Djokovic? That's a very interesting question. What did I predict again? I think I predicted 4, because Kachanov can be a little bit of a pain in the Djokovic side. Let's just prefix that with the fact that Djokovic, I don't think he's not quite playing his best clay court tennis yet. Djokovic's best clay court tennis generally centres around the forehand. Can he play as offensively off that wing as he would like? We've not really seen it yet, but he just has a habit of pulling it out for these big matches. And I do think by the time it gets to a sort of tight moment in that match, if it does come, Djokovic will have that gear just to start attacking on that wing if he needs to. So I think Kachanov can put up a lot of fight, maybe win the first set, but once Djokovic inevitably finds that extra gear, which he just does for these events now, he's not even dropped a set, and we've not seen his best tennis yet. I don't really see Kachanov troubling him for an extended period. I think he's got the rally temperament, he's got the heavy enough shots, etc., to make Djokovic know he's going to have to play a little bit better than he's been playing for the rest of the tournament. Maybe that'll win him a set, but overall, I'm afraid not. I don't think so. Who is winning today? And the other matches, I guess we've got Carlos and Tsitsipas as well, right? Carlos, Steph, I'm afraid, after the Barca match, I do not fancy Steph's chances whatsoever. Put it this way, Carlos on a slow court, on a clay court, right? The only way I really see him being bothered is with a little bit of return offense, right? So first ball, take advantage of the fact Carlos's serve isn't the best placed in the world. Fabian Marotzan in Rome, that's your playbook, right? And Struff as well in Madrid, he did an amazing job of that. Tsitsipas's worst shot, I think we all know what it is. The return, right? The backhand return in particular, there's just no chance. I'm sorry. There's no chance. Maybe Steph, off the back of a fantastic, forehand and serve combo, wins a set, but to win the match, it's not a great matchup, even with Tsitsipas playing at his best. It's a shame because Steph's actually playing really good tennis, but I don't think he beats Carlos in these conditions. I'm sorry. It's a shame because, as I say, we want to see Steph do well. He's a nice guy. He's got a great game on clay, but every one of his peers in the top 10 is unfortunately a terrible matchup for him. So it's unlikely that he wins that match. However, we have seen Steph sort of lighting up to Federer-esque levels in the past, and in slams even, against Sinner, I remember at the Australian Open last year, he was so good. But I've yet to see a match that's made me think, wow, this guy could beat the best in the world since then. So yeah, I think Carlos, and honestly in straights. Sorry, but that's my prediction. It's a little harsh, but you can really see the tan lines when you zoom in like that. I don't know if I like that. We'll keep the picture on the on the screen for as long as we can. Any other questions, please let me know. There you go, there's Sabalenka's comments on the interview afterwards. Such a tough opponent, moving well, super happy with the win. Thanks, fans, even though I know you're waiting for Novak. Oh, come on, Sabs. That's not true. That's a little harsh on herself there. A lot of big Sabalenka fans out there nowadays. She's won a lot of fans the past sort of 6 months after the Australian Open win. After she kind of announced herself basically as Swiatek's main threat. I guess Rybakina is there obviously as well, but Sabalenka has been more consistent than Rybakina. She's been the only one really that is a threat to the number 1 ranking. I believe Sabalenka is now number 1 in the WTA race now, actually, having won that match. So she has had better results overall this year than Swiatek. Although I think Swiatek must be nip and tuck, right? If she does come through each match, she's probably she'll probably go back ahead when she wins her quarterfinal. But the point is, Sabalenka's been competing up there the whole year. She's been having as good a year, if not slightly better than Sean. Well, actually, definitely, I'll take that back. Sorry, she has had a much better year than Swiatek so far, given the WTA 1000, given the Slam. Obviously, Swiatek's still looking for that first title, that first big title. Sorry, I should say. So yeah, it's fantastic just to see somebody threatening this Swiatek reign when we thought Ash Barty's gone. Who on earth is going to challenge Swiatek now? Sabalenka stepped up to the plate. It's amazing. Fine effort from Svitolina, says Damien, who we have on the show frequently. Sabalenka's just gotten too good at playing these more conventional counter punches this year. Absolutely. As I say, just reliable enough shots. What else has he said? To trouble her right now, you need to stand up to her power and or have the ability to mix it up more, which wasn't necessarily the case in the past. Exactly. You could count on her coming up with unforced errors as the rallies extended. But nowadays, she's just got so much safety, so much confidence in each of her shots, she can build the point up. There wasn't really much counter punching going on, to be honest. There was few positions where Svitolina was given the chance to come up with a winning shot. So it was just pushing through and it didn't work. Any thoughts on Nishioka? Did I see the tiebreak yesterday? No, I didn't. I'd love to hear some comments on it. Exactly what happened, because I saw it was 10-8, right? It must have been a few set points, I'd imagine. But Thomas Martin Echeverry eventually coming through, I believe, Love and won. Was it in the end in the other two sets? It was pretty one-sided anyway. He is some player, by the way. I keep saying it. He is some player. There's no way the match with Zverev is going to be easy. Like, there's no way Zverev's just going to romp through that. I'm sorry. But Martin Echeverry he's some clay court. I think people are totally underrating him, thinking, oh, he's just a challenger player. He is, in terms of like ELO ratings, in terms of current form, he's playing like top 10 clay court tennis, like 100%. He's like in the top 10 on a clay court, without a doubt. And it's not like his results this year haven't shown that. He's been getting to finals. He lost to TFO and can't remember now, Houston, I think. Houston, and then he also lost to somebody else at the start of the year. It'll come back to me. But either way, he's made a couple of finals already. He properly challenged Djokovic in Rome. The level there was amazing. No head-to-head between the pair in the past. I believe in terms of matchups, Zverev still has the edge. He tends to have an edge on slower courts against your kind of meat and potatoes serving forehand players. I think Echeverry, in fairness, is a little grindier than other clay courters that I would expect Zverev to have an edge against. He's got this just great solidity. Basically, you can't give him too much time because he will finish the point, but at the same time, he's willing to grind and grind and grind. So Zverev, for all his rally temperament, could be up against it. He's playing close to his level last year, Zverev. This is the thing, but it's hard to say. It's hard to say what will happen when he faces a proper challenge. I would say everybody he's faced so far, even Grigor, hasn't been at the level Echeverry's been playing. Even TFO as well. Obviously, TFO is a great player. I fancy Echeverry's chances. I genuinely do. I think I've said on Last Words, the publisher, the publication even that I write for, I think I said Zverev, in 5. So I think 5 sets to Zverev is what I'm going to stick to. Svitolina's return to major play at Roland Garros is one for the tennis history books. Win or lose today, yes, we'll come back to that again. I mean, it's such an achievement to get to the quarterfinals. I don't know how people are rating it. I don't know if people think it's not much of an achievement, but it's honestly, it's outstanding. There's not many players who've been able to do that in the past. Yeah, there's one of my tweets. Ruud, let's talk about Ruud. Yeah, oh my God. I obviously was pretty low on Ruud at the start of the tournament. I didn't fancy his chances at all. I thought he was going out in like the third round. But as Vanch kind of mentioned that, he's got a knack for kind of working stuff out. He probably feels a lot safer in 5 sets. Just feels like he can kind of work his way into the match, where in these best of 3 matches, players can just kind of out him. And he's shown that. The Jarry match was so good. I think people underrate Jarry, even in slow conditions. He's like got such good baseline rally temperament this season, and the serve obviously speaks for itself. And it was so close for all 3 sets, but somehow Ruud dug in. He deserves a lot of plaudits. And on last word on tennis, I have gone for Casper Ruud as the winner in that match. And the other reason for that, on the flip side of the coin, Holger Rune, we keep talking about his only problem being physical conditioning, right? Can he last a whole tournament? You know, we've seen him in 3 clay court finals this year, and in all 3 clay court finals, his body lets him down. Even in the match that he won against Van de Zandschulp in Munich, the Dutchman obviously was, you know, he kind of gave Rune that one. I think it's fair to say 4 championship points, and Rune was playing on one leg basically. He was my favourite to go to the final after Medvedev went out, but having played that match with Cerundolo, and I don't fancy his chances. I think that will have taken quite a lot out of him mentally. You know, he'll be feeling a little bit like, how do I play this match against Ruud? I'm going to have to play pretty offensively, but with the conditions this slow, Ruud will want to make things physical. He will fancy his chances if it goes the distance. I think I've got Ruud in 4 there. And I think a lot of people will believe it should have been Rune, but yeah, it's tough to say. This one's slipped by me, John. I'm not. What is this? I'm not sure. Might need a few more deets there. I'm quite keen to talk about it though, because I've not heard what it is yet. What's this from Vance as well? Holger won despite losing every single stat besides aces. Yeah, he did dig in. You know, for all the stuff I've just said about him, he is a fighter. He absolutely is. He loves these matches where he has to absolutely scrape from the bottom of the barrel to win. I didn't see that. So what was the scoreline, sorry? Was there a double bounce that he clearly knew he should have lost, maybe? Yeah, but I missed it. So maybe. Give us the scoreline, please. What was the scoreline? Was it quite a crucial point in the match? So midway through the second set. But Cerundolo did go on to win that set, right? The third set, right? There we go, cool. I'll have to watch that one back. So this is the thing with Rune. You kind of want to back him, and he's got so much. He's got this fun way about him. He loves his tennis. He loves playing. But there's stuff that makes you think, is this guy a bit of a bad egg? Like what's going on here? It's quite hard to back him. Put it that way. He does do stuff that makes you think, ugh, cringe. I really don't like this guy that much. But then his tennis speaks for itself, I guess. At the end of the day, yeah, with this call here, it is the umpire's call. And sometimes it is hard for the player to determine whether or not it was a double bounce. I will give him that credit. However, if you do the Federer school of logic, right? I'm sure everybody's seen that video. If you just look at the spin on the ball, it's pretty easy to tell most of the time. At the end of the day, I think it kind of boils down to the age-old argument of why is there not VAR in tennis? You know, it's a very easy sort of like watch it back. You can tell if it's a double bounce. I don't know why they don't. They're quite stubborn in that. I don't really get it. I think I get the sort of like you need to keep play going, but it doesn't take that long to just take a quick look at the video footage, make a decision. I really don't get it. It's a shame. So let's. I'll hold my hands up and not totally scold Rune for this one, and just say it was an issue of not having video footage for it. So here's the whole story. Cerundolo then has a smash on top of the net, but because the Argentinian held his hands up, umpire punished him with hindrance, so he knew it was a double bounce for sure. Eek. That's tough. That is tough. What was the scoreline exactly? Can you remember? I would like to know. Cerundolo, by the way, is going to be around for a long time. So I'm talking about his compatriot there, Echeverri, like he's the face of clay court tennis for years to come. Cerundolo he is the best Argentinian player on clay at the moment, for sure. The amount of offense he can generate on that forehand wing is next to godly. It's actually insane. So yeah, he deserves a lot of credit, and he will be back in this stage of the tournament at some point, threatening to go far. And then went 15-40. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, isn't it? But obviously that ends up being the crucial break. Yeah, it's hard. Well, good for him to sort of rally in the fourth set and take it fairly easily, at least. But that was brutal for Cerundolo, who obviously he's a consummate professional. If he puts his hands up, he sees a double bounce, he's not chancing anything there. That's a shame. Have we got any other matchups to come that I can predict. I'll just kind of take a little look through quickly. I'm sure there's one I'm missing. Potentially not, to be fair. Yeah, there we go. I hadn't talked about Haddad Maya and Jabeur. What was my prediction for that one? I think I went Jabeur in straight sets. So my logic there was basically Jabeur has not really played anybody that much tougher or less tough than Haddad Maya. I do rate Haddad Maya's game. I think she's great rally temperament, great fight. She's got a knack for kind of digging into the match regardless of what the scoreline is. And on grass, her lefty serve's amazing, but it doesn't really, it's kind of inconsequential on clay. To be fair, the serve's good, but it's not that good. So it does come down to how much can she sort of dig into the rallies, how often can she go for the right ball. And she's done it the whole tournament, but against Jabeur, it's just so hard to do that. Jabeur will make things really difficult for Haddad Maya. She'll make things really awkward. I think Haddad Maya's a little bit too basic a player for Jabeur to be troubled, is my feeling. So I think straight sets. Jabeur's playing fantastically again, which I love to see. I love Jabeur. I think Jabeur is the best player to watch on any natural surface. Honestly, undoubtedly, because you just see shots you haven't seen before. She's fascinating, especially grass. She's amazing on grass. Jabeur leads 1-love in the head. You're 1-0. It was 6-3, 6-love. Great. That's maybe proves the point a little bit. And really, Stuttgart should have been advantage Haddad Maya over this court, just given the courts are a little faster there, a little easier to win 3 points in your serve. So with the conditions even grindier, I would fancy Jabeur's chances there of coming through with maybe not a similar scoreline, but certainly straight sets is what I would back. Is this footage of the double bounce? I'm sure this is fine, isn't it? It's not quite, illegal enough to. It's not long enough to be illegal, right? So just the screenshot. Never mind. Screenshot's fine. Right. So what it comes up after that? I mean, that's clearly a double bounce. Not great. Yeah, not great. So there we go. There's Damien saying, chaos ensued with the Argentinian trying to argue before hitting his next shot. That's what you were saying, losing the point. But Bulkhead also moved at the same time. Oh, so he thought the point was over. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. Aryna definitely could have admitted it there too. That's seriously bad. Aryna knows, and you can see from this trajectory, Bulkhead saw it. It's not on, and I'm sure we don't need to dig this up, but why not? Remember last year when Aryna loses that match to Ruud, and I mean during the match he was acting like a total Egypt, as we say in Scotland. And after the match, he came up with all this kind of malarkey about Ruud saying "yeah" in the locker room, and I mean everybody. He was never going to come out the right side of that. Everybody knows what Ruud's like. There's just no way that happens. So it just looked so silly and so immature. And yes, he's still growing up. I'll give him a little bit of a buffer. He's 20 years old, growing up in the spotlight, growing up in a huge public spotlight. But it's still hard not to cringe and it's difficult to like him for sure. And I will give him a little bit of an allowance, but I'm not a fan of him at the moment, definitely. I was at that match with Jamie this year. He's at Surbiton changing times. What match was that? Oh, the Aryna match. Where are you? Oh, amazing. Cool. That would have been a good one. Must have been a lot of aggro there, surely. Love it. In terms of other matches, I can maybe just run through a few of the other doubles matches that are happening. For example, I mean, I wasn't aware that Mies, of course, former French Open champion, had made the semi-finals. That slipped by me. He's with Middelkoop, the Dutchman, and they're against the Belgian pair of Vliegen and Gilles, which I believe that's their first Grand Slam semi-final. So that's a pretty deep run for them. Mies, again, that's fantastic to see him in another French Open semi-final because they were kind of threatening to fall off the tour for a while. And they've come back. I mean, the pair, Mies and what's his partner's name, starting with a K? Kravitz? Is it Kravitz? Won the French Open double. They won it twice in 2 years. There's very, very few doubles pairings that could do that. And I think the French Open is notoriously the hardest doubles tournament to win because you can't rely on your serve as much. It's not about tried and tested plays. There's a lot of just long rallies and compared to normal doubles. So it was a great, great achievement for them. It goes very underrated in the sort of grand pantheon of doubles achievements. So it's a shame because honestly, to see him in another semi-final, that is great stuff. And quarter-final results from today for the doubles as well. So Skupski Kulhoff, the top seeds, got knocked out by Zeballos and Granollers. Obviously a formidable doubles pairing as always, those two, the Argentinian and the Spaniard. So that's a great result for them. And at the moment, Kravitz, who is still playing in the tournament, I didn't realise that. Kravitz is with Tim Pritz, who they lost the first set to Krajcek and Dodig, and they're 5-4 up in the second set. Love to see Kravitz doing well as well, but Dodig, oh my God. I mean, look at the results of this guy. Just let me get the Wikipedia up, because I think few kind of mention his name when they're talking about doubles, but he's done so well throughout his career, and he's done so well sort of resurgently to kind of come back and do stuff this year as well. So yeah, lost the French Open final last year, so they are the defending sort of French Open finalists. I'd like to get all the results up because it's stupendous, honestly. Yeah, they won Monte Carlo this year, so they are proper clay court players as well. They know exactly what they're doing. He's some player. He's now, let me just check his age, 38 years old. They're all about that age, to be fair. So that's nothing that crazy. But yeah, it's amazing. Sorribes, Tormo and Buzkova, curious. That's probably the controversy of the tournament, right? I don't think anybody watched that and thought, it's just not a good look, is it, at all? Yeah, it's a shame because both players seemed fine beforehand. Definitely isn't a great look. I'm willing to give them a pass as it's a first, definitely, but it's a really bad look for the two of them. Lost to Perez and Melikar, the 6 seeds. And Goff and Pegula march on. I'm sure that's on a lot of people's radars. They are now in the semi-finals, 6-2, 7-6 over Bondar and Menem. That is now, I believe they'll be against the pair we just mentioned there that beat Sorribes, Tormo and Buzkova. Yeah, they'll be against Melikar and Perez. So it'd be good to see them in a Grand Slam final again. Quarterfinals as well on the other side, Townsend and Fernandez. That's obviously a fan favourite pairing against Chan and Chan from, is that Sri Lanka? I think it's Sri Lanka. And then Samsonova and Kudermetova even against Se and Wong. I didn't realise Sui Se was playing with Xinyu Wong. So that would be a great result for the Russians if they came through that. But Se obviously still a threat even at this stage in doubles. Fantastic stuff. Yeah, that's the kind of doubles recap. I guess we could look at the mixed as well very quickly. No obvious names there apart from Andreescu still in the draw. I'm sure people will want to see Andreescu do well after kind of crashing out in the singles. A lot of people getting their hopes up for Andreescu and then getting them crushed pretty quickly again. I think we'll need to wait a while before we get a proper run from Andreescu in a slam. It's a shame. I know you're all thinking this, here we go. This clash on Suzanne Longlong is done, but did you see the way Hannah Maya hit that ball into the crowd upon victory? Sorribes Tormo did, so we may yet get a disqualification for a Brazilian opponent. Yeah, it's quite easy to poke fun at Sorribes Tormo after that, isn't it? I really hope that doesn't become the reason she's known, basically, Sorribes Tormo. She's got such a great game. I would like to see some sort of apology maybe, or some recognition of what she did. It's not the greatest look. So hopefully she can kind of clear her name a little bit after that. It was a grim one for her. The disqualified Ed team are both in mixed. I see. Yes, they are. Because we've got Sujiade from Indonesia still in the draw, and then we've also got Kato. There you go, Tim Waits winning against the Brazilian pair Stefani and Matos. Yeah, that's most of the results. I think maybe with no matches on at the moment, we can wrap up there. Thanks very much for joining. Sabalenka Svitolina, fascinating match. Sabalenka, of course, against, it'll come to me. Come on, who is it again? Might as well tell you. Mukova. Sabalenka versus Mukova. That'll be a fantastic match in the semi-finals. Very interested to see if Mukova can put up a fight there. I do expect Sabalenka to take that one, just given the power disparity and the reliability of her game. But Mukova will absolutely make that difficult, for sure. Slices and stuff. Maybe not having as much of an effect as we would like to make it super close. I'm still expecting straight sets, basically. But I still think it'll be 2 tight sets, just given Mukova is, a crazily good player in terms of feel and touch and stuff like that. And then we've got the quarterfinals, Haddad Maia, Jabeur, Swiatek Goff tomorrow. And then on the men's side, we have got Djokovic and Kachanov. And we've got Alcaraz, Tsitsipas on one side. And of course, on the other side, Zverev, Etcheverry, Rune Rud, which we have ran through. Thanks very much for joining me, guys. If you did enjoy the chat and stuff, we are on every day. And of course, we've got last ball drops later today. After all the action's done, I'll be on to do the final, of course, on Sunday. If you do want to see a bit of my own chat, we'll have Steph Carlos. There you go, live later on the channel. And yeah, last ball drops as soon as the matches are over. You can tune in just to get a little bit of a recap of exactly what's happened during the day. I've been Jack from On The Line. Go check out my channel if you like. I would love a subscribe if that's okay. We are getting to the point where I actually earn money from the videos that I make, which is lovely. So yeah, every subscribe counts. Feel free to drop a subscribe. It does help the channel. And there you go. Yeah, there's the logo in the top right-hand corner there. Type in On The Line Tennis. You can find us there. Thanks very much, guys, for joining me. I'll catch you next time on Talking Tennis at some point soon, I'm sure. Thank you very much.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
You've been to the French Open final. Your breakthrough, at least standout result at the beginning of your career, was on grass against Venus. You've been very solid on the hard courts. Is there a slam in particular that you go, I think that's, if I'm going to get one, the first one might come here, there, or where?
Well, I don't know. I mean, everyone, I'm like, I think this is the first one. So I don't know. I mean, obviously now going to the French, I do have a lot of confidence on the surface, but I'm not really thinking about that. I feel like, in the past I was, and it gave me some like defeats that I feel like I shouldn't have lost, maybe more so my head. So going in now, I mean, I feel like, everyone could be the one, but I think I have to just take it a match at a time and just feel it out and enjoy it. I think when you focus too much on the destination, you don't enjoy the journey there. So now I want to focus more on the journey, and if the destination gets there, that's great.
Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks, including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered, whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon, or Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Coming to you every evening, night, day, depending on where you are in the world, will be The Last Ball Drops. This will be a show on Talking Tennis as soon as that ball drops on the last match of the day, morning, afternoon, evening, or night at Roland Garros, probably on Philippe Chatrier. We will go live with a review of the day's play. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell. That way, as soon as we go live, you'll get the notification, you can come and join us, and you'll get to hear the thoughts of people such as Mario, Damien, Jack, Nick, many more, maybe even me from time to time. You know the drill. Make sure you subscribe. See you soon.
Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered, whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Coming to you every evening, night, day, depending on where you are in the world, will be The Last Ball Drops. This will be a show on talking tennis as soon as that ball drops on the last match of the day, morning, afternoon, evening or night at Roland Garros, probably on Philippe Chatrier. We will go live with a review of the day's play. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell. That way, as soon as we go live, you'll get the notification, you can come and join us, and you'll get to hear the thoughts of people such as Mario, Damien, Jack, Nick, many more, maybe even me from time to time. You know the drill. Make sure you subscribe. See you soon.
You've been to the French Open final. Your breakthrough, at least standout result at the beginning of your career, was on grass against Venus. You've been very solid on the hard courts. Is there a slam in particular that you go, I think that's, if I'm going to get one, the first one might come here, there or where?
Well, I don't know. I mean, everyone, I'm like, I think this is the first one. So I don't know. I mean, obviously now going to the French, I do have a lot of confidence on this surface. But I'm not really thinking about that. I feel like, in the past I was, and it gave me some like defeats that I feel like I shouldn't have lost, maybe more so my head. So going in now, I mean, I feel like, everyone could be the one, but I think I have to just take it a match at a time and just feel it out and enjoy it. I think when you focus too much on the destination, you don't enjoy the journey there. So now I want to focus more on the journey, and if the destination gets there, that's great.
Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered, whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis. Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered, whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis. Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered, whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in...
Coming to you every evening, night, day, depending on where you are in the world, will be The Last Ball Drops. This will be a show on talking tennis as soon as that ball drops on the last match of the day, morning, afternoon, evening or night at Roland Garros, probably on Philippe Chatrier. We will go live with a review of the day's play. Make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell. That way, as soon as we go live, you'll get the notification, you can come and join us, and you'll get to hear the thoughts of people such as Mario, Damien, Jack, Nick, many more, maybe even me from time to time. You know the drill. Make sure you subscribe. See you soon. coming to you every evening, night, day, depending on where you are in the world, will be The Last Ball Drops. This will be a show on talking tennis as soon as that ball drops on the last match of the day, morning, afternoon, evening, or night at Roland Garros, probably on Philippe Chatrier. We will go live with a review of the day's play. Make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell. That way, as soon as we go live, you'll get the notification, you can come and join us, and you'll get to hear the thoughts of people such as Mario, Damien, Jack, Nick, many more, maybe even me from time to time. You know the drill. Make sure you subscribe. See you soon.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.